Did you clap?
I did clap.
Wonderful. Now that we've clapped, our hands, we're going to clap the cheeks on this episode.
It's the
Texas
all top episode.
clapping community college funding cheeks.
Oh no. This is already falling apart.
No, Dennis, Texas is constantly falling apart, and the only good system that we have is the community colleges because it's the only way that you can get an education in Texas. So, of course, anything good must, of course, be torn down by blatant capitalism. The state higher education leaders are pushing for these changes for community colleges funding to be tied to their performance as colleges face greater workforce demands and financial pressure.
Interesting. That's in stark contrast to here in California, where the first 2 years are free. You do have to pick a major, but like they're kind of chill about it. You could just be like a liberal arts major and then be like, yeah, I'm going to transfer after 2 years. I still feel like everything should still be free, but like, this sounds a little bit worse.
Dennis, Gavin Newsom is dumb, not stupid.
That is the difference. I think it was actually Jerry Brown.
Like, if Abbott wanted to really stay in office, he'd just be like, hey, if you're a Texan and you can prove you were born in Texas, then you can go to Lone Star College 2 years for free.
Oh, I have a story about a Texas college. I don't know if this is true or not, but my dad is Texan. He is from Texas, Tejas, San Antonio specifically. Shout out to San Antonio. And I've heard that a family friend of his, he got to go to college, and all of his children get to go to college for free because they were one of the first Mexicans killed at the Alamo.
Interesting.
Yeah, their family was like, I don't know if that's true or not, though, but that's interesting. I don't. That still doesn't seem like it's very helpful when you get a college education in Texas.
It's only a Texas college,
right?
That's why it's free.
This is
how much could it possibly be worth?
I don't want to be smart. Like, Texas has some very well-educated people, but this.
The best that we have is Texas A&M, and the reason why
I'm gonna say this podcast is not an example of that.
Rude.
You're too.
Hey, look.
You dropped out of college. So did Kelton.
Yeah, because the colleges are terrible.
Oh, and Bo did too.
You don't go to college. Literally all college dropouts. Texas is the biggest state of college dropouts that went to work in the oil field because it pays fucking better to work in the goddamn oil field.
Yeah.
Than it does to go to college for 4 years and then be working as a teacher at HCC, and then one day in 2022, the fucking dean comes in and says, "Look, everyone, competition comes for us all, and we got to compete with the best."
I just don't know what you mean by competing in community college. Community college is full of 18-year-olds who are learning not to pick their nose in public. Yeah, and trying to figure out am I an adult? Do I get to do adult things? I don't get to drink, but I do get to sign this big huge I get to sign this big huge loan. Not just Texas, but all of community colleges full of fuck ups.
Look, what I think this means is that if your community college system hasn't gotten a corporate sponsor yet, like Lone Star system has, Chevron, BP, Exxon, every other oil and gas company, knocking their doors down to fund engineering buildings on their campuses, then you just shouldn't exist, because what are you actually doing if you aren't contributing to the real industry in Texas?
I don't know. See, is that better or worse than my community college, which was funded by Pepsi and Viacom?
I mean, who's killing the country faster and in more measurable ways?
Nickelodeon, of course.
Nickelodeon, of course. That's right. Where did they dump all that slime when they're done with it, huh?
No one will ever know.
No one will know until they listen to this tell-all that we have coming up next.
Psychic Dolphin Garage.
everybody, welcome to another episode from the Psychic Dolphin Garage. I'm Zach, he, they.
I'm Denis, also he, they.
It's he and they in the podcast.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it is National LGBT Center Awareness Day. We want to thank all of our LGBT centers for providing services to the youths and to the not youths.
Yeah, see, it's perfect that Kelton was not here today and that I had to step up to fill in.
The gays and the theys.
Because it's the gays and the days day. The gays and the theys day. I haven't podcasted in a while. You have to forgive me.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Well, as you know, the Psychic Dolphin Garage is also an LGBT awareness center. Or is it an LGBT center?
Yeah.
The center of the LGBT universe, we like to claim.
Well, no. We're an awareness center. We want you to be aware that, homosexuals exist. We're not going to do anything about it, but, gays, theys, transes, bises, they all exist. Lesbians, they're here. Mm-hmm. Be aware of that.
Mm-hmm. They're here, they're queer.
Mm-hmm.
Coming to a neighborhood near you.
Yeah.
Is it what's in your garage?
I have a story about a couple of, because have you ever been to an LGBT center, Zacharias?
I don't think so.
Oh, see, I have. I've been to the two that are, well, there's three in my general vicinity. There's there's LA's LGBT center. There's Long Beach's, because Long Beach likes to pretend they're not part of LA, but they really are. They're part of LA County, but, whatever. And then there's OC's. So I've been to LA's and OC's. I've never been to Long Beach's. And LA's has like a little playhouse next to it, which is really fun. And I got to see a performance of Call of Cthulhu there.
Hell yeah.
And also got some free condoms because they were handing them outside because they're right next to the LGBT center, so they're just handing out free condoms. So it was like, okay, cool.
Okay, I can deal.
Yeah, and there was also I loved that performance of it though, because it was there's a big huge Cthulhu puppet at the end. It was awesome.
Hell yeah.
But then the OC, I have to call you out, OC LGBT Center, if you're listening. The OC LGBT Center is very far away from most parts of Orange County. It's in the center in Santana, which is the county seat. And it has two campuses, not near each other. They're about a mile apart, which walking in the hot sun of Southern California's summers is not fun. But Sam and I, my roommate, if you don't remember the recurring character of Sam, from the old episodes, Sam and I went to the OC LGBT Center once to try and because we'd heard that they had a D&D night, and it was like, okay, cool, let's go play some D&D with some gays. So we show up and the place is empty, and we go knocking around. They're like, oh, you have to go to the other center that's in downtown. We go there. That place is completely closed. Not only is it closed, but it's locked up. And we're like, what the fuck? And it says that it's open. And then while we're waiting there's this girl sitting there, at the steps. Clearly she is, she's homeless and she's trans. But she was like, hey, do you know if this is the place where I'm supposed to be? Because there was supposed to be a laser hair removal clinic there, at that day for trans youths, and not just trans youths, but trans people. And we're like, no. And so we tried calling to see if they could open up or something. No one was there, even though their Facebook event page said that they were having both of these events that day. We're like, what the fuck is going on here? So then she asked us where the bus to the literal other side of the county. I'm not joking, hours. It would take hours to get there. She's like, oh, do you know if this bus goes there? It's I could look it up really quick, and it did. So she just was on her way. I was like, what the fuck? This sucks. So anyway, OC LGBT Center, step your pussy up, because that it's not gonna fly.
Great concept, but I feel like you gotta deliver. You got something to prove still.
And I have to also mention the D&D event is called Theater of the Mind.
Wow. Critical Role, Theater of the Mind.
Uh-huh.
Such such useful, informative names for these things everyone is using.
Yes.
Something we can finally agree on, unlike Twitter, who seems to disagree on whether or not we are invading or intervening in Haiti.
Yeah. I would like to know as well. Because on the outset, American intervention in Haiti, it looks like an invasion.
I mean, most intervention looks like invasion, especially when you're like literally rolling Marines out of landing ships.
Like here's the thing. I'm going to call this an invasion regardless. I just want to know the story, the story that we're supposed to be told and understood as the quote unquote real story, the official one by the United States government, so that I can be like, well, that's bullshit. But no one seems to be even completely aware of why we're there.
Or what's happening. I mean, it's like the UN is supposed to be like, ooh, the global interventionist like arm, so that everybody has to agree in order for us to go in, and like we're definitely not doing bad things with guns. We're just providing what's the term,
aid.
Yeah, what kind of I forget what kind of aid do they call it? It's like
oh my god, you're right. The new term that was invented for 2022 for like,
yeah, there's like a specific
hostile
kind of
aid or something, or like weaponry. Like what are the invented term for Ukraine? Oh my god, I can't remember. Because we had to stop talking about Ukraine on the podcast, so it totally.
Yeah, that's true. NPR reports the U.S. and Canada sent armored vehicles and other supplies to Haiti on Saturday to help police fight a powerful gang amid a pending request from the Haitian government for the immediate deployment of foreign troops.
Okay, so there.
The Haitian government has been not overthrown, but like usurped by someone who was not elected.
Right.
And of course, the democracy is upset at that. Unfortunately, the U.S. is not in the business of supporting democracy in other countries.
So the thing is, it's kind of fucked because the previous president, the president that is supposed to be in power is a U.S. backed president. There may or may not have been some meddling in Haiti's election, like there always fucking is in Haiti's elections, by the United States.
Or, some sort of like assassination may not happen that definitely may or may not have been done by the U.S. Either way, hey, look, this is NPR, and we think that it's best that there is no conflict ever. And anywhere that there is conflict, that we aren't in control of it, we should be there to control the conflict because that's what we're good at.
But this kind of stuff happens. I mean, this is basically like what happened in Afghanistan. Is the United States has created this power vacuum for like gangs or what can legitimately be called terrorist groups that are
or even just like the military, and then somebody else has essentially bought out the military because they happen to know like enough of the families that they can just get backing from the military. It still does work that way. Like we're literally just we've reinvented the Roman Caesar.
Yeah, exactly.
Going out with the armies and then coming home and being like, oh, I'm Caesar now.
Right. I mean, and this is going to continue to happen with the United States, like waving said big stick, because it's ultimately not that big of a deal for the United States Army to deal with, like in Haiti, what we're mostly assuming is some sort of like very powerful but gang, but it's still a gang.
Essentially like under armored. I mean, you drop a couple Humvees and some troop carriers, and you've got the what is it, the LAPD,
right?
NYPD could literally like just detach a battalion of cops.
Well, and then and the thing is that wouldn't be unlike that NYPD because they have international police departments. Don't forget that.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah, they have like anti-terrorist like groups, or they like offices outside of the United States. It's like, what? You have no jurisdiction here. You're the fucking NYPD. So I'm actually wouldn't be surprised if the United States deployed some members of NYPD over to Haiti for this sort of thing.
We've been talking for a couple weeks about how he's about to fuck up, how the Democrats like literally cannot they literally cannot fumble this bag, and it looks like his top donor, Sam Bankman-Fried, who is between the latest fundraising period, he topped the donor list with $1 million contribution, is under examination by the Texas State Securities Board, who's trying to figure out whether or not his company has been offering unregistered securities to residents through its yield-bearing cryptocurrency accounts.
Oh my god!
I don't know what that means, but it sounds pretty serious because his company went under. So he's basically being under investigation for fraud, and he's like a top Democrat donor. So Big Beto is making their move.
Oh my god! Like, leave it to a Texan Democrat to get into crypto.
The rest of the state already is. Like,
right.
The ship has sailed for Texas. Like,
God.
Beto might as well get a crypto billionaire on his team at least.
Well, I mean, not a billionaire anymore. The crypto's all going down the fucking tank right now. It's very funny. It is very funny that like the Democrats in Texas just like, I don't know what it is. Like, nationally, Democrats somehow still seem to squeak by, even with the the barest minimum of things. But in Texas, it's like
we're losing ground either
right,
way.
It's like an exercise in futility for Beto to even like appear on top of someone's like luncheon table or something, because no one, he can't win. The Republican candidate could literally be like a wet sponge, but as long as it like says a fascist thing,
better than Beto.
As long as it says a fascist thing, it's going to get elected above Beto. He can't win in this state.
He's gotta admit it. It's too late, but he really needs to admit it. And they really need to find someone else to be their poster boy.
Can he just be like a mayor or something?
Oh God.
Or maybe like could he just like be on? No, you know what? He could like he could be the coach of like a little league team. I feel like that's the thing that he's most capable. I mean, he's perfect too. He'll bring his own table to like cheer on his his kids. It's perfect.
He would be really good as like a district representative of some district that he could really get behind him, because then he would be like visible all the time, and he could be like one of those people that goes and gets all the 17 of these other candidates that are actually really good, and then makes them really visible just by being around him.
Yeah, I honestly do wonder how well Beto would do. Well, I mean, we know that how well he did on a national level. It's not good because he's like the worst like he's a very weak Democrat. But I think
that's all that Texas can turn out.
Right.
Like, the liberal ideology again is like so like
it's
built
it's like
out of the root. It's the same branch off. It's a branch off the same tree.
Right.
That it's just like what does he actually not support? He just doesn't say fascist things. And
yeah.
that's the best
I mean, the fact that Beto even has like a Spanish nickname, and that's not getting him enough points. Like that doesn't make him like
Beto.
cowboy enough. Like
Speaking of cowboys, Dennis, let's do a quick roundup of stories from this week.
Oh, that's a good one.
Here, Starbucks is being sued for accusing unionized workers of assault and kidnapping.
Oh,
in a stunning
what?
move, a police investigation did not immediately listen to the Karen, claiming that she had been violently kidnapped when her minimum wage workers begged for raises.
What?
The store manager was presented with a letter from the workers demanding raises.
Right.
She later called the cops, said that she had been kidnapped and her life had been threatened. The police surprisingly did a full investigation, did not find any evidence to support that claim. Starbucks corporate then handed down some thing where they were like, you intimidated our manager and made her feel uncomfortable, and we're punishing you for that, and that's illegal.
Right. That's very illegal. I mean, but also just like wild.
This is just the next step. Like we all saw that thing with all the managers like crying
right
on that video call. is the next logical step. Is all.
You're just making shit up. Just to be like, I was abducted. They shoved
probed me. They probed
They
me.
shoved needles into my fingernails.
They healed back. They were very small needles.
They made me eat garbage. That is a hazing ritual when you work at a
They dumped the like, you know, the thing that catches all the like overflow from the syrups. They dumped that into a cup and made me drink it.
Yeah, no, they do that, or they like when the espresso puck comes out, they'll put a little dollop of whipped cream on it, and they'll hand it to like the newbie, and they're like, oh, it's like a cake for you because you're doing so well, and then people will eat it. I didn't though because I'm vegan, so I was like, oh, I'm not gonna have that.
That's kind of funny. I'm glad that we can continue the ritual of hazing
right.
new workers,
but
as long as they don't demand raises.
Yeah, this is the most fucking wild. How could you? This is just okay. So I just finished watching a very, very bad Ryan Murphy television show called The Watcher, and this just sounds like it's like a story out of there. Don't watch The Watcher. It's a very bad Ryan Murphy show, but it's like, you know, everyone's making up these fake stories about being harassed, just like this. Well, yeah, so speaking of demanding raises, for those of you that don't know, I'm a very big Nintendo fan, and I really do I really like the Bayonetta series. Bayonetta 3 is coming out. Everyone was very surprised to hear that Helena Taylor was not returning to voice Bayonetta, even though she has done so in the past 2 games. And this is because Helena Taylor was asking for more money. She was
Bayonetta's a big enough series, right? Surely
well,
she
and
was
it's
asking for like, you know, something substantial. Like she was going to be paid like, you know, $60,000 plus like royalties or something, right?
Right, but she wasn't getting those. She wasn't getting royalties. Nintendo has this tendency to not use union voice actors, which are very common here in the United States, but not very common over in Japan, which is why Smash Bros. Has mostly Japanese voice actors for a lot of the characters, or just reused lines from older games. Helena Taylor revealed in a tweet, in a Twitter thread, that she was only going to be compensated about $4,000 for her voice work in Bayonetta 3 when she was given the offer, and $4,000 per session, and there was maybe going to be about 3 to 5 sessions for her to record all of her lines, which is like on average about $15K. And I believe she lives here in Los Angeles, which is just not enough to live. So a lot of people were upset. They retweeted that, and Hideki Kamiya, the man who created the Bayonetta series, basically just blocked everyone. He blocked so many people that he actually got his Twitter account suspended because of bot activity. Oh my God. I was actually one of the people that was blocked as well. He does have his account back, and it seems like he may have spread a rumor, which turns out to be kind of true, that Helena Taylor is actually not that innocent of a person herself. She is into like Blue Lives Matter, and she follows some transphobes on Twitter and some other right wingers. So I am now, just like Karl Marx himself, full of contradictions. I don't know how to feel about this entire situation, and I am still blocked by Hideki Kamiya, so I feel like I will never be completely okay with how I feel about this. But this was just a funny, weird thing that I still do think that this transphobic Blue Lives Matter person should probably be paid well and represented by her union, but I would also hope that the union culls any kind of activity like that, and the union should know better than just letting people be transphobic.
Yeah, definitely please like pay your voice actors, but
Yeah,
The temptation to let it simply slide.
right. Like, here's the thing. Am I going to boycott? I don't know. I really don't know how much me not buying a $60 game is going to change what has happened. Also, apparently, Japanese companies are a lot like American companies, which means that if the game does not do well, a lot of people might just end up being fired. So, like rock in a hard place with this one for me, especially since I want to play the game.
Nice. Nintendo, definitely a comfy game that does not survive off of nostalgia alone.
No. Mario's head is definitely on the guillotine once the revolution comes. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Mario. We're taking your goddamn IP, whether or not you like it. And by Mario, we mean Chris Pratt.
Oh my God! Let's not even get into that. We're not doing a Patreon episode, so we don't get to talk about that. But I could go on forever about that.
Speaking of something we wish would disappear, apparently billions of snow crabs have disappeared from Alaskan waters. The state of Alaska has canceled the snow crab harvest for the first time due to a I almost said traumatic. It says dramatic, but it is a traumatic 90% decline in population.
Yeah, I feel like traumatic is also very apt of a word because a billion of any species just gone does havoc to the ecosystem for sure.
Billions.
Yeah. Oh, billion. Even just a billion, but yes, billions.
In 2018, there were around 8 billion snow crabs scuttling along the floor of the Bering Sea. Last year, that number fell to just 1 billion.
Y'all need to stop eating crabs. Y'all need to stop doing it.
Honestly, I mean, like, I like crab, but I don't eat it more than once every other year, even maybe.
Well, okay.
Like, I'll just have like some crab legs as part of something else. Like, we're not rich enough to afford to go eat, crab 4 times a year.
Right. I mean, there's many things like, there's many things that could be pointing to this. Obviously, climate change is a huge one, but
the water's warming.
Yeah, our also incredibly unsustainable way of harvesting crabs. It's devastating to the bottom of the ocean to harvest these crabs. And
the nets that they use, the trapping that they do, like we've all seen the TV shows, and it's
it's pretty bad all around, and that's kind of the scary thing is that we don't really know what will come of this because snow crabs are an integral part of their ecosystem, just like anything. So what does this
mean? What gave away that it was global warming, Dennis? The fact that they're crabs or the fact that snow is in their game? Something that no longer exists.
I've never seen snow. I don't know what that is.
I think literally North Texas is about to be like 30, 40 degree weather. So we're about to have our first like cold front, which means that like the Arctic Circle is dumping all of its
that's where the snow crabs
chilled air into the equator so that it loses its cold.
No, the snow crabs are actually going to come raining down in North Texas. Like when people are like, I don't know, the fish and the frogs are falling in the rain. It's that sort of thing, but it's going to be crabs this time.
The fucking Black Ops. They're Black Ops crab.
Oh yeah,
Black Ops lobsters. They're going to be parachuting into Texas to. I don't know. They're going to be dive bombing all the cryptocurrency mines.
Oh, are they going to like cut the? They're going to cut the cords. They're just with their little pincers.
Yep. We're vulnerable. There's like 3 places that you could cut us off, and half the state would be out of power. So
yeah. I mean, and that's just because how horribly designed the Texas power grid is, cut off from literally the rest of the United States.
Everyone always talks about like, oh, we need to be energy independent, and it's like, motherfucker, if like one terrorist went and attacked like one place, they could seriously fuck up the entire economy and kill millions of people. So I mean, worry about your own yard, maybe.
Yeah, Californians love to talk about going independent, like being an independent country, because we would have like the 5th biggest economy in the entire world, or like the 12th or something ridiculous. However, we are missing something very integral: water. We have none. We have no water. So, again, a a terrorist attack to one of the few sources of water that we get, like the Colorado River or like the Hoover Dam, we like the entire West Coast, from Nevada all the way down to San Diego will be just like, we'll just be without water. We'll all die. So, don't get any ideas, terrorists. This wasn't like a how-to, by the way.
This is not a how-to. This is not a how-to. Please.
Please. I like water. I need it.
Speaking of going out and getting our own shit.
Yeah, you gotta go get your own fucking groceries, folks. Go get your own goddamn groceries.
That's it. Everyone is, if you listen to this podcast, you're banned from using any shopping services. You're banned from using the pickup services from the grocery store.
Mm-hmm. Well, see,
you're not allowed.
I come to you, podcast, with this story. It's not really a story. I'm only bringing you Twitter drama because that's the stuff that I could find.
Let's go.
But that's the stuff that I could find, but also because this was just fucking hilarious. Should I say their name? I'm not gonna give their name. Anyway, someone tweeted out. I'll like put a link to it. I don't know. Someone tweeted out, my last time using grocery delivery, and I got a man. He started refunding stuff that I knew dang well on the store had. I was so pissed I got in the car and went to the store he was at, and bruh was literally standing in one aisle on the phone. To which Jorts the cat replied, idea, go get your own groceries. Now, that's a funny little thing to say to a story that definitely did not happen. Like, this was fake. This person who said this is they're a public person. Never mind. Their name is Queen Veej. They're a publicist and co-founder of the Queen Dom BBTX. So, I don't know. I don't know what the, like, or maybe Queendom? Queendom?
Not Queendom, Queendom.
Are you sure? Because I would be into being
like Kingdom.
Oh no,
Queendom?
No, I see. It's a beauty shop. Okay, it's a mobile beauty shop
in Dallas, Texas.
Okay,
so this is again a Texas story.
Oh,
very good.
Perfect. Well, anyway.
Oh God, I mean, definitely made up. You definitely did not.
Yeah, you definitely
were not brave enough to go to the store and confront.
Right.
There's just secret shopper.
Yeah.
Unless you were, in which case,
then
more questions.
Then go to the fucking store yourself. But anyway.
Idea, go get your own groceries. George, this is a common problem. Some of us can't go get our own groceries, whether it's due to time or health.
Right, but like this person, this Queen Veej, the publicist and co-founder of Queendom BBTX, clearly has the time and the means to go to the grocery store herself. I
really love Bo's response to this. Bo tweeted earlier today, the gig app industry invented disabilities to sell more groceries.
It's fucking, which is true.
All this is shit. Like there, you can't flatten this down because like obviously like it's good that people with disabilities, they weren't happy feeding us pharmaceuticals. They had to neurodegenerate our muscles, compromise our immune systems, and make us reliant on wheelchairs or some bullshit. I don't know what the fuck you expect disabled people to do if they can't. Well, if they're using a service that literally benefits them.
Well,
but it's also like if you are using a service that is like convenient to you, why are you all up in some worker's butthole?
Right. So there's like a lot of things going on here. Like this is at no point did Jorts say don't use these if you're disabled. I follow Jorts. I think that they would be very okay with someone disabled using these services because all of the union delivery jobs are gone now. Thanks.
Oh God.
Thanks, gig economy. But
it's been litigated over and over again on Twitter, and it's just like people that were did not see it last year are going to see it this year, and we're going to have to relitigate it every fucking year for all of eternity. That like. Yeah, no, if you're not using this because like you need to, then and you're just using it as an opportunity to harass workers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah, they're not your servants. You don't get to just go and do this. I think
that's the entire thing that capitalism is built on, though, is making people feel like they're going to use a service that's going to be the same as going out there and doing it themselves.
Yeah,
But
they're
it's
little baby
never
bosses
going
or
to
whatever.
be.
They're little boss babies. That's what they are.
Bosses. It's it's turtles all the way down. It's bosses all the way down.
But
It's
the
it's literally a Dimension 20, Starstruck Odyssey. Like one of the characters is part of like an Avon like
oh my god
pyramid scheme. They sell pleasure putty.
Oh my god.
And I'm pretty sure that Siobhan literally like says like it's just bosses all the way down.
Well, someone replied, the Tweety Mutant, who is a instructor at Lungar College, replied to this, said, under capitalism, disabled people are often sparkle emoji, forced sparkle emoji, to be complicit in harmful labor practices, whereas the left has sparkle emoji, a choice sparkle emoji, about being complicit in ableism. I don't think that saying that this publicist and co-founder of a company should buy their own fucking groceries has anything to do with this. We understand this, but also
like litigating this is like, oh wow, disabled people are forced to use these services that make it better.
We're all forced to use these. We're
all forced to use every service that makes our lives easier. Yes,
because we're
forced in the sense that like there are not many other options. I'm not gonna say that like you
have to get Instacart, but like you also have to use the grocery store, which is another form of labor exploitation. Like again, turtles all the way down with this one.
Yeah, nobody's right here. We're all equally wrong, and the least you can do is not be shitty to workers.
Right, but the idea that saying this is ableist is like that meme of someone being like saying, I like waffles, and another person replying, oh, so you hate pancakes. It's like, no, that's a whole different sentence. You came up with that yourself. That's a completely different thought. And that's basically all Twitter is someone saying one thing and then someone being like, but this personally offends me. Someone replied with this tweet. Hi, most annoying person here you've ever encountered. I noticed this post you wrote in 3 seconds doesn't line up with every experience I've ever had. This is extremely harmful to me, the main character of the universe.
Ooh, ow. Ooh, ow.
But this is exactly what Twitter is. It's like people are like, but I'm the author of this page. I'm the author of this book, twitter.com today. So everything has to be about me in this very moment. So if this doesn't align with the stories that I've told myself, well, that's just wrong. And it's like, well, just fucking get off Twitter.
I'm going to need you to not confront me with the fact that I actually desire to live inside of a bubble created by social media. And that nothing outside of that bubble can ever harm me because it's not real.
Well, see, here's the thing. If you continue to make that bubble just you posting thirst traps, then that's fine. I will go ahead and contribute to that fantasy. But you need to keep up your end of the bargain, true. Okay? Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah, no, I've been posting. Shut the fuck up. I post, goddammit, I'm in the mines every day, swinging the sledgehammer to break the coal out, and then rough it into a diamond, and then post it on Twitter.
I know, I'm just busting your balls because it's fun.
On the behalf of Mr. Peanut's investment, security, and law firm, we would like to thank our patrons for October. Thank you, Scott, Tim, Jorge, Freighter LVD, Rufus, Not a Mole Rat, Eli, Malwin, Olive, Lotion Wizard, Alex, Lizzie, Broobs, ASM Marxist, Phil, Dylan, Kira, Cody, Comrade Kometka, Nicole, Pizza Poss, Drew, CJ, Jacob, Philip, and the Humidifier. Your contributions are supporting our work all across the globe and the good that we will do throughout all of history. All right,
okay.
Dennis.
All right, lay it on me. I'm here.
This is the big one. This is the big story. This is what's happening. This is the thing that's gonna change lives in Texas today, tomorrow, and for at least 2 days after that, before something else comes out and changes lives in Texas.
Right.
Irreversibly.
Yeah, we get to talk about the second most annoying politician in Texas.
in the state. Thank you, Texas Tribune, for contributing this to our lovely, lovely podcast. We promise that
this has just been a gold
to do
mine.
Nothing but say good things about you,
Yeah.
as it says in our agreement.
Yeah, the Texas Tribune has just been literally a gold mine for this podcast. It's produced some god awful stories.
Governor Greg Abbott says states should fund distribution of medication that can reverse opioid overdose.
Okay, I'm with you there. I'm with you.
The war on fentanyl has made it to Texas. Enough cops have finally pulled the possum routine that Governor Abbott has decided to give them all personal Narcan kits to carry with themselves 24/7.
Oh, so it's not for people who are suffering or ODing.
You know, while not detailing how the distribution might be funded, Abbott said the medication, Narcan, should be distributed to law enforcement agencies as well as some hospitals and schools.
Okay, wait, but why only some hospitals where people are ODing, or schools where kids are ODing?
So I'll keep reading on this, but like the takeaways from this are, this is more dumb war on drugs bullshit.
Obviously,
this ties fully into the billions of dollars that have been wasted on quote unquote border security.
Mm-hmm. Well,
and this is 100% like propaganda about how dangerous fentanyl is.
Well, see, I really
and not about how dangerous opiate addiction is, even though like the opiate family got sued to death and they got away with it because
Bayer.
they're just 6 shell companies in a trench coat.
Right. Well, I was hoping that this actually did go to, cops actually giving it out to people, because I know with the Patreon money we bought, at least $17,000 worth of fentanyl to be given out as candy on Halloween. All across the state of Texas. So I was really hoping that and of course this is all.
If you get a psychic Jolly Rancher, then it's either been laced with LSD or fentanyl.
And we also
we
only have literally a handful of them, because $17,000 worth of fentanyl is not a lot of fentanyl. It's expensive, folks. I would Google how much it costs on the street, but I also don't want to be caught by the FBI looking up such silly things.
I'm going to Google how much it costs on the street, because
you're white.
I'm already on a list.
Yeah, you're white. You won't get shot. Probably. It's less likely.
Probably. I have long hippie ass hair, so.
Yeah, but you have it up in a bun.
That's true. When they come, I do have to put up in a bun just to make sure. Governor... That's true. Governor Greg Abbott on Monday said the state should fund the distribution of an overdose reversal medication to help curb the growing number of opioid-related deaths. During a press conference at the Department of Public Safety headquarters in Beaumont, the governor blamed President Joe Biden's border policies for allowing an influx of fentanyl, a synthetic opioid that has contributed to a nationwide increase in overdose deaths. But in a marked shift from his previous laser focus on border security, Abbott said the state should begin funding distribution of Narcan, a drug that reverses and blocks the effects of opioids, including fentanyl.
Right.
That's not terrible.
No, but also blaming Biden's border policy when fentanyl was also here under Trump. And also, you can't blame immigrants. You have to blame, CEOs of opioid companies, but whatever, sure.
Regardless of without an actual plan, Abbott said that the bottom line is this is something we have to distribute across the state of Texas. We need to look for the areas where fentanyl is found most predominantly and make sure Narcan is easily available there. That would be good.
Oh my god, I just got the thought in my head because you and I both know that Narcan works like literally the instant that you use it. So when cops use it, it's because they're having a panic attack, and it doesn't. So they go through like 5 fucking things of Narcan. So I just imagined them going hat in hand to Greg Abbott again and just saying like, "Please, sir, can I have some more of Narcan?" And then he just puts it into their little hat, and then they go back to just snort it again.
What's gonna happen is they're actually gonna like all the opiate overdoses that occur in officers are gonna suck up all of the Narcan, and they're gonna have to like write fake reports about how many overdoses they've stopped, and then they're gonna come ask for more.
Oh, it's like what we did in like fucking student leadership in college, where we're like, yeah, we totally used all of the funds. We had like a party or whatever, and instead actually bought like fucking we bought drinks for a party off campus. Because we had to use all of the funds, otherwise we wouldn't get as much next year. Like that?
Oh my god.
Yes, we did do that. And
use it or lose it rules. So the cops have to use all the opioids.
I don't know if that. I don't know. I was not the treasurer, so I didn't know that happened. Also, I made up that story. It was a lie. Because I don't know if the statute of limitations of that kind of a crime is over, but yeah, it was a lie.
Lying to the college does not feel like a crime.
That's stealing.
So here's the thing. Greg Abbott is taking like the smallest single step in the right direction.
Right. This isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Meanwhile, a federally funded state program called More Narcan Please that gives out the life-saving drug for free ran out of money in January, in part due to high demand.
Oh my god.
According to the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, 107,000 people died from overdoses in 2021, a 15% increase from 2020. From April 2021 to April 2022, 4,839 Texans died of a drug-related overdose.
Oh my god.
A 63.4% increase in fatalities over the last 3 years based on CDC estimates.
Jesus Christ. The CDC, like, as helpful as they have been in, like, getting vaccines out to people for COVID, they've also been god-awful. How do you just run out? Like, I get that there's a but we're the fucking United States. Like, go make some more. Go just...
The federal funding is just not there. Like, Joe Biden had to spend that money on student loans instead.
That's not even true! Because you and I both know that went to fucking local cops to become even more militarized.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it's literally a federally funded program that just ran out of funds.
God.
Like, I guess they only review that every 3 years or something, because
yeah, I mean, this probably...
That's what Greg Abbott should be doing, is funding that program from state funds.
Right, this probably ran out of the
but
money.
But for the past few months, Abbott has focused on the U.S.-Mexico border, investing millions of dollars in Operation Lone Star. He recently declared Mexican cartels that produce and traffic fentanyl to be terrorist organizations and called on the president to do the same.
I mean, that would be fair if such a thing could be proven to exist, like, in such a demand that, like, it actually is a threat to the United States.
Yeah, cartels are terrorists, and it's time we started treating them that way, Abbott said on Monday. That's a loaded fucking statement.
Not only that, but this is ignoring the whole fact, like, why are there cartels? Could it be because of the war on drugs here in the United States, making, weed a Schedule 1 drug, even though it's, like, safer than alcohol, creating a huge demand of it?
So if you actually examine the free market, then you'll see that in free market theory, where there's demand, there will be supply. Oh, and where there's demand, there will be billions of dollars.
This is the free market working exactly how it's supposed to. Because capitalism is terrorism, and yes, cartels have happened because of our war on drugs.
God, it's literally the it's literally. I saw some clip from Ozark. I don't know if you probably don't watch Ozark.
No, I am aware of the Ozark area. It's in not in Alabama. No, it's in Arkansas. That's where a whole bunch of UFOs stuff happens, right?
Yeah, definitely not just people really, really high.
Yeah,
Arkansas, Missouri.
Arkansas.
Yeah, the Ozark TV show is like it's I think it's like vanilla Breaking Bad.
Mm-hmm.
But in this little dialogue, the little kid is telling his teacher, like, do you know how big how much the GDP is just like drug dealing? Because not only does money like go out and support cartels, but it's also that also means that all those drugs that are coming in are traded in the United States.
Right.
So a massive portion of our GDP is actually just people hooked on drugs. And if fentanyl is a better value for someone, then that's why
That's just
gonna be more
that's the
prevalent.
free market, baby.
Yep.
But don't do fentanyl. Oh my god! And if you're having trouble with opioids, please seek help.
Fentanyl patches apparently cost $40 per pill.
That's a lot.
Per dose, rather. Sorry.
A dose.
Insurance cost is $10.
Well, you know what? I think we then can't afford to actually use Patreon funds to give it out as candy.
Yeah, just literally, Abbott's just like totally ignoring like everything that exists to already help people like get off of drugs, and like overcome addiction, and like, programs that exist to distribute Narcan, because opiate addiction is a massive problem in the 21st century, because opiates are apparently really fucking easy to create, and they're so important because they're literally like the opiates.
Well, yeah,
and opiates and dextromethorphan are the only two substances that are actually cough suppressants.
Yeah.
Nothing else is actually a cough suppressant.
No, it's
everything
sort of
else that is marked as a cough suppressant is not actually a cough suppressant. Those are the only two substances that suppress coughs, and opiates are also like the only like high power painkiller that exists.
Right. Oh, when I
and so you can't outlaw like LSD.
Right. Well, when I broke my ankle a few years ago, they I was at the ER, and they were like, "Oh, so we can give you an oxy for this," cuz I was in a lot of pain. It was really bad. I had a stage 3 tear of my tendon, and apparently there's only 4 stages. At least that's what the doctor told me.
Yep.
So pretty bad. But I was like, I don't think I could take that. I'm bipolar. And they're like, oh yeah, nope. We'll go ahead and give you some Tylenol. Tylenol did not work.
God.
Yeah.
Well, good thing you told him.
Right. Because I don't know if I'd be here right now.
Oh, God.
I probably would be. I probably would be okay, but still.
You'd be fine.
I probably like that night probably wouldn't have been as painful. Although I did afterwards go get oh my god, what's that like Polynesian
Polynesian sauce?
No, it's it's like a
Filipino.
No, it's a Polynesian drink that is like it's not a narcotic, but it's kava. That's what it is, kava. There's a lot of kava bars where I was at. I was in San Diego. There's a lot of kava bars because there's a lot of Polynesian folks there. And so I went afterwards. I went to go get kava, which is as a mild pain suppressant. So that worked out pretty well.
Nice.
I think
doing some. It's like dosing yourself with some fucking. Oh god, it's another K one. They do the powder.
Ketamine.
No.
Does ketamine come in a powder form?
What it is.
Can you?
Yeah, ketamine.
Oh yeah, because it's
like
a pill.
Crystals.
Yeah, it's a pill.
Yeah.
I don't. Either way, I think you'd.
Well, either way, no matter all these pills. Abbott's revealing a new public information campaign called "One Pill Kills."
Which
to inform communities about the devastating effects of fentanyl, because that's definitely what we need to do. The excuse, like with the war on drugs, is like people know what they're doing. They want to hurt themselves, and now it's like, well, clearly they don't know what they're doing, and all these cops are just dropping left and right from opiate overdoses because they are running into the fentanyl clouds that are racing across the deserts. I don't know what
just rolling through East Texas or through West Texas, all the desert areas. Just it's suspended in the dust.
When all these towns, like when all their like groundwater runs out and they all just dry up and die, it's gonna be like, oh no, it's the fentanyl. It's in the desert.
Yeah,
it's in the air. And that's just going to be their fucking excuse for this bullshit.
It's going to be revealed that one Prada store that's at our installation in Marfa is actually just solid fentanyl, and it's going to come crumbling down.
God. It's like asbestos in the walls. Oh God! Well, if you'd like to get your free fentanyl or your Halloween fentanyl/LSD candies, be sure to email us at psychicdolphingarage@gmail.com or call us at 512-402-2089.
That was all a joke, by the way. We're not actually giving away fentanyl. Absolutely.
We are not actually giving away any samples of our drugs. Thanks.
I just have a bunch of weed gummy. If you want a weed gummy, you got to come to my house to get it. But I'll share some of my
in California.
Yeah, I'll share some of my weed gummies. I got a lot of them. They're like 2 years old and they're really hard now because they've been sitting in my fridge, but they're still good. They still work.
I have CBD gummies because those.
Yeah, but that doesn't do anything.
I also have Delta
that
8.
does worse things. Oh my god.
Please remember to rate our show 5 stars on iTunes and Spotify next time you get on there. Remember to check out our Patreon episodes. You can find me on Twitter at Shinobi1Kenobi. You should follow the show account where we post unhinged things. Like all of us just post random unhinged things. So, and then you should follow Denis.
At Denis T. Ricardo. I'm also I'm gonna start doing some more content creation. I've been on and off YouTube and TikTok ever since I stopped being a regular host, which has been terrible for my my brain because everyone on TikTok is a dumb baby who believes everything that you say. But
that should build you up. It should. Right? Because everyone just believes everything you say, right?
I know, but like, unless it's me, they don't believe me because I will usually say, "How could you fall for this? This is fake," and then they're like, "No, it's real," and you're just a nobody, and I'm like, So, but I am plan on doing some more writing. That'll be available on my Patreon, patreon.com/Denis Ricardo.
And what's your TikTok handle?
It's Denis T. Ricardo, the same as my Twitter, so that should be easy enough.
Sweet.
And also before the end of the year or at the beginning of next year, I will be resurrecting a Dogma podcast about cults. I've just been taking my time doing the writing and the researching for that because it's a lot.
Hell yeah. Well-researched content that is not reactionary or dumb.
Right. I try not
Definitely.
to do like I'm trying to come and educate people about cults from a non-true crime perspective, because the cops fumble all the way when they are trying to get rid of cults. They completely fuck up.
You love to see it happen.
Anyway, I think that's it for us, folks.
We will see y'all at next week's cult meeting. Bye.
Bye.
Amarillo by morning, up